Greetings and salutations. I am going to do this again. Long story short, I don't know if it's a really long story short situation, but last time we we've done a lot and nothing at the same time. Day one was the day we did a lot, where we got to room 46. We got it done in day one, also quickly. We went around and talked about some theory stuff. Um, that was kind of days one and two. Day three, we made sure to just unlock stuff, but we didn't get a whole lot in terms of red envelopes. I think we did get shelter, um, etc. and so forth. So today we're going to hopefully get items, and we're hopefully going to get stuff taken care of. Also, always this room. Also, one thing we did not do yesterday, things we did do yesterday, magnifying glass on a number of notes. And I've had something of an epiphany on that based on stuff I already knew but didn't know what the build-up for it was, and now I think I've got the build-up for it. So if we can get a magnifying glass, that will be beautiful, and if not, that will also be okie dokie. We'll tool shed and just make sure we have items this time, since we want to do item runs, and sledgehammer, because we want to open up certain places. All we need is a battery and a something. I don't know. Power hammer needs a battery, a hammer, and what else? Don't know. Battery, hammer, the bar, yeah. I've made a couple decisions also. I don't think, for instance, I want to draft as many rooms as I can, both in terms of filling up the map, but also just having stuff in my draft pool. But, man, that's so tempting. I think I will, but I really don't like it. What was I saying? But there's the mirror room, and what that actually does is you can add duplicate rooms to your draft pool, and I don't think I want to have duplicate rooms. I think I will intentionally refuse to do. I mean, I'll enter the mirror room and draft it once just so I have it, but I don't think I actually want to use it the way it says to use. Reddington, don't know if I already looked at that. There's nothing special there that I know of. What else? Parlor. Parlor's fine. Parlor's decent. Decent. With an AE. Let's see what else. I'm glad we got as much done with magnifying glass as we did. All three statements are false. That's false. Two statements are false. Probably true. Gems are in a box with a false statement. If that's false, then gems are in here. But yeah, so I think I shall refuse. How many stars do I have? I can't tell from out here. I think I want to ignore duplicate drafting while also accepting. Man, that's kind of a dangerous choice there. Can't do anything with that right now. Already got everything cleared here note-wise. There's more. Miss a key. Didn't miss a key. But yes, that's a decision I made. Is sure open the Chamber of Secrets, but don't really use it. Don't let it be. Hey, drawing room. Heck yeah. I think this is one I have not done this run. So let us explain. First, let's look at this. And click on draw 3 floor bands from which you must click on draft. However, there are some items and rooms that will allow you to redraw if you do not like your initial 3 options. Draw is in blue. Maybe that's an OCamp word. For our security terminal. Anyway, come here, if you look at the picture, there's a bent thing, so we have to come over here and bent the thing. That opens up this safe. And then remember we said our puzzle for the grid is if we count small gates, GATES, 8 dates, crack 8 safes. So GATES is a homophone. It is pronounced the same as GAITS, gates, as in the length of like a step. So if we're counting small length steps, we have some big ones. We have kind of a small one there, a small one there. If we look, big one with Mr. Prop 2, big one with Mr. Baseball, big one with the horse. Kind of a medium, still kind of big. Not as big as the horse, but it's not a small gate. So the two small ones would be this guy and her. So let's count her first. We got 1 here, going around, 2, going around, 3 there, and 4 here. So 4 total. And then if we count him, we have 1, 2 up there, 3, 4, 5, 6 up there, 7 in the big one, 8, 9, 10, and 11 right there under the horse, 12, 13, 14, and 15 in the corner. So 0, 4, and 15 as a date would be April the 15th. And sure enough, that opens this up for us. So 10 out of 10 on that. We get the ruby, we get the letter, and that's from Uncle Harold, Great Uncle Harold, to Mother Marigold. Now we have the third envelope, so that's a positive thing. Continuing right along, a hallway is useful. A passageway is more useful, but we don't have that many gyms right now, so we will avoid. A pool is nice, if for no other reason than to verify our pump room situation. Because the pump room is both relevant and magical. And here we have not great items, but commissary I guess we can do. Keep us all the way to the right and give us a chance to buy stuff if we ever get the money. Who's there? 20. I wish it's how it worked. This is the same one that's in the staff room, which we saw, not the staff room, the security room, which we saw last time. It just tells us Swan Song is the technical password. This is a lie, so not particularly helpful. The with and without is kind of helpful. We have clock, we have lock, so it's a C. Let's see what they're selling today. That would be nice. That's obviously just repay myself, but these two would be pretty nice to have. Annual Maids Day sale, 2 days only, all items 50% off, all staff welcome day 20 and 21. That's going to be a while because I did this super quick. Oh, they're all good options. I can't afford that one, so I guess we do aquarium. Don't have a shovel, otherwise I could shovel this. It doesn't give me anything for free, unfortunately. Packages have been delivered, so that's huge. I like packages. I like free stuff. Do any free stuff over here, first of all? No. I think we looked at this, which said, are we sure so-and-so stole whatever? We'll build on that later. But that was the thing that happened. This told us how to do the fuse box. I may have said that, I don't remember. Sleeping mask, heck yeah, and gems. That was a win. Letter from Dad, I think we read. So yeah, I think we did kind of cover everything here. But just to expound on this tells us how to work the machine. Hello, neighbors. Whereas there's a note in the office terminal. The office. We can look at the emails, and the emails tell us what the actual password was supposed to be. We'll draft that today if we can, just so we can look at that, because I think that's all pretty well settled, so I can go through all of that immediately. Oh, since we have the desire to open everything we can, let's begin. Sniff up. Boom. gives us magnifying glass, which I actually do solidly want in a highly potent fashion. Why? I don't know though. Can I get paint? If I can get paintry, I can probably afford a lot of things. So let's. Wow, that's early for a key. Pantry. Nope, we got a boiler room, which is valuable. Cost me a gem, but doesn't cost me coins, so that's something. It's still solved. This is open to our beloved foundry. This is not solved. I not use this on day 1 or 2. I'm pretty sure this stays solved. That's how I recall it on my other run through. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Take it. That sucked. Usually that goes pretty well. Now, just like an idiot here, trying to go all the way back around. Now. There we go. It's like I know I can do it, even if it's just barely poking out. Okay, let that through. We'll go ahead and push this back around to there. Swivel this around. And in fact, this goes straight into the foundation. So one thing else I can do. I don't actually know if it has to go to the foundation. Actually, it doesn't have to go to the foundation, but I'll go ahead and power it and we can look at some stuff that I know we need to unlock. I've got to, yep, this is only step 1. Open this. Need to drop this. And what I'm going to do, put that back and flip this back up, and that will power it. I don't need to power foundation. I just need to power this guy, which can technically be done like this. You powered? Do you have a light? No light. Okay, no light equals not powered. Powered, okay. This takes away our future door, but we can come back to that. We are going to go down into the foundry because we have that all unlocked in the basement. If we don't have it unlocked, I'm going to be furious, but you know. As I recall, we unlocked the entirety of the basement. And no longer need the basement key for anything. Yes, please. You. Okay, come back here. I do need to drain the reservoir, or at least get the boat kind of moved or something. Something like that. I do know kind of what's going on at the bottom of the reservoir. I just don't know. There might be other things that are involved, and I'm not entirely sure on the details of that. Oh, it's over there. Why is it over there? That's dumb. I spin to step on that. That would make me sad. I didn't. Good. That's happier Hayato. Happy Hayato. There we go. Let's go. Firstly, we can just open room 46 while back here. Secondly, we can leave that there so we can always just run back and forth and not need to do any spinny games. And thirdly, we'll have some fun while we're down here. I'm in the mood to permanently unlock stuff. But also, yeah, okay, that's... Open the moon gate. Okay, that's done. Now, perhaps you noticed, perhaps you didn't. When we're walking down this, there is a certain panel that looks funny. That panel would be this one. It's not a panel, it's a hallway. I think we looked at it day 1, but this is just blah, I don't know that anything goes here. This is now open because we powered that red box above. Also want to go out there and look, and ooh, pretty. I've never actually been in here. I think I know what's in here, but I don't know if that's all that there is to it. This is really pretty. Ooh, are we below the gear and this is why we raise it? Oh my gosh. This is the meaning of this. Holy crap. Okay. I have to get over there. Can I get over there? Is that a reasonable thing to ask? No, it's not. How do I... Oh, how do I... Oh, where do I... Presumably, I'm going to that, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and that should be separated by 4 there. Yes, okay, so I need to spin it 1, 2, 3, 4 times to get where I'm trying to go. Okay, okie dokie, let's go. Spin it 4 times from the thing, and then we can make this happen. Okay, this is gorgeous. I didn't realize this is what that was. That answers a few questions of mine all at the same time. I didn't miss a step yet, so you can look at the pretty scenery. Mount Holly, which I think is actually one of these directions. I don't think it's what I'm looking at right now. That's Mount Holly over there, okay. Anyway, so now I'm going to do what we ought to do instead of looking at the pretty scenery. That's what this whole raising and lowering thing is about, so that's fantastic. That's fascinating. 3, 4, 5, which should be the right number. If I overshot it, then I'm way gonna be behind and have to do that a lot of times, but I think that's right. Going in here, going around. And I think I've seen this area, and that's from the elevator when I was doing other stuff, so I haven't unlocked it. No, I did do it one too far. Gosh darn it, it only needs to be 4. That doesn't make any sense to me, but okay. Or I just did it 6 times and not 5 times, but stupid. It's an 8 thing, so I just have to do it 7 times. No biggie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm so terrified of this. Let me just go up there and look at it again. This top one isn't... Is it moving one by one? Maybe it's not even moving by one. Maybe that is the problem. I don't know. Yeah, 2 more. Exactly 2 more. Okay. I haven't lost any steps doing this, so that's why I'm very eager to just double check things and make sure I'm not being an idiot like I didn't just was being an idiot. So, 2 more. That's what we said. 1. That's a 2. It's a fun little adventure we've got here. Okay, now we're not being stupid. Now we know what the second floor is about. Now we know what raising this thing is about. Come over here. Oh no. His name is Herbert. Is there an H? Can you give me an H? Nope, no H's. Okay. Sinclair Herbert S. Room 8. S Y I N. I get an N. Do I have simp? That's you. That's just kidding. N? No N. We're just back to being simps. Swim. Maim. I don't know what. Oh, the button's here. So let me go back to freaking swim. Nope. Now Holly, I don't know what else to think through. I do SYN A. That's not an S. What am I doing? That's an 8. SYN. Okay, I don't think I'm making any progress here. But I don't know what this would be. I know that that is Orinda Aries. I have an O anywhere by any chance. I don't think I have any vowels in the first. Oh, I have a U. Okay, an E. What are options? Wet, EL, RB, SMU. I'm not gonna remember that. I'm certainly not gonna remember all 4 of these. So, boys. Let's be honest. 8 is the most likely option. Toe 8, tie 8, E8. Okay. I don't think I said K, no. No, okay. We 8. Okay. I'm gonna give up. But we need 8 dates, crack 8 safes. But this is not one of them. Is it? I mean, it is. It has to be, because 8 date. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August is an A. December is an S. SEP. Not looking hopeful. Okay. October, November, December. It's a J, F, M, March. May, could be May 8th. Hey, there we go. May 8th, I don't remember the significance, but we have seen a note from May 8th. I don't have a thing to look at this in detail, but it's Assay 502. Performance log 102, date 1/13/1916. I knew what we were looking for as soon as we uncovered the first spire. It wasn't until the first floor plan was unearthed that much of the crew realized what ruins we were exhuming. The border was the same pitch as the sunless cavern we found it in. A dark trimmed floor plan of ill-fated Orindia. We found an authentic black print. Holy crap. The sooner we seal the site back up, the better for us all. Treasure trove. 5 coin for each time you draft a treasure trove. Sure, I'll take free money. What in the heck? Is that the treasure trove? If so, that's based. This is one I've never gotten before. This is exciting. May 8th, dear Baron Sinclair. Again, my name is Worth Loud. Laude. My father used to work with your father, for your father, the Right Honorable Baron Thomas Sinclair, between the years of 1915 and 1918. Yeah, and Thomas Sinclair is I think we've seen the date May 8th in relation to him. Former having died last month at the advanced old age of 89, may he sleep in soot and ash. That seems very sad and depressing. Left behind his widow, 7 children, and 30-odd grandchildren. I write to you today, however, not to inform you of these family affairs of little consequence, but to tell you a little bit about my father. This is to our great-uncle, who His father was Thomas Sinclair, that we know of, and one of his workers was this Worth Laud's father, okay? Lived his life towering above us in solemn silence like many members of his and your father's generation. He never spoke of the work he did in the mountains of Redington or the famous estate on which he was stationed. He never spoke of the Baron, not once. I tell you this only to relate that he never betrayed the confidence your father placed in him. The secrets he kept for your family he took with him underground, aka to the grave. His elderly comrades and colleagues from his old mining outfit proved, however, to be not nearly as discreet and considered with their words, not considerate. Considered with their words. During the wake, fueled by a seemingly endless supply of spirits, these venerable gentlemen embarked on a journey down memory lane, recounting as much of the good old days as they could dredge up, while such reminiscences, is that a word, might typically be dismissed as the fanciful ramblings of age. Like reminiscings or something like that is what I'd use. As much as this might be typically dismissed as fanciful ramblings of age, the volume and specificity of their accounts led to a certain credence to their words. I mean, I'm not a presumptive man. I don't presume these stories to be true. I don't presume your house is host to secrets of this magnitude yet. I find myself irresistibly drawn to the idea of sharing these tales, true or not. They seem, after all, stories worthy of being heard. I wonder if my current abundance of idle time fuels this urge. Perhaps I have too much time on my hands. Perhaps if one were to engage me in some worthwhile and profitable enterprise, my eagerness to pass the time by telling stories would be curbed. I eagerly wait a response from your lordship, Mr. Worth Laud, aka he wants to... We're gonna pause on that for a second. AKA he wants to get work on the mines, unearthing cool stuff. We're not blind to the irony of blackmailing you for a blackmail letter, and we're not proud to join the endless procession of those who have knocked on your mailbox looking for a handout, particularly so when our methods lack the refined sophistication and class that this author so effortlessly wields. This is kind of the first indication that they were black, that my great uncle was blackmailed, or some family member of his. Interesting, because we have another indication from the office, which we haven't officially found, about blackmail. So that's the treasure trove. Fascinating. That'll get us a lot of money too, I think it said. So that could be a very valuable room, so that we don't have to like super increase our allowance to get some high money items. Okie dokie. So that's kind of the hidden secret of this part. Fascinating. Now we're going to put this in a way that we can actually make sense of it. Okay, so that solves the mystery of this room. And the red door simultaneously. That was such efficient solving. I consider that a very good job well done. That's a lot of mysteries that I myself did not understand. And a ruby and a letter. Sadly, I do not have power hammer material yet, but we will work on that as well. Go, go, go. I do frequently get the workshop, so I feel like that's fine. I won't really worry about getting that in order to get our stuff. Anything else I wanted to do? Not really, okay. Let's keep drafting then. Pump room. Can't do power for the foundation, so that sucks. We'll see what we can do out of this. Because we drained the fountain, but basically we need the pump room or the boiler room attached to it in order to do that. So we can maybe sling. That's a lot of rooms though. Sling around. So what we'll do, we'll hold off on this. If we can get a power hammer, I know of a way we can not need fountain. Of course, we don't really need fountain right now, but anyway. I do know of things we can do in order to avoid needing stuff. Yeah, I'll probably do just because this wine cellar does keep my gyms up, and gyms are going to be an issue if I do get farther in this run than typical. No special stuff, no dig spots on this. Oh, okay. A dig spot here. I'll need more money for a shovel. That would be nice to have. Oh, down. I am not doing that. I have 3 ways to get into that room. There is guaranteed a way that I don't have to pay money. I'll go ahead and fix this now. Lurch. Okay, Dan, give me something. There we go. Free is nice. What do we want to do with this? Library would be nice. Just to have pictures of stuff. I don't think I've got a book yet. Nook is one thing I want to show, so I know what I want to do with this room. So I think we've noted before that the bridge in Bridget was a weird font. We looked at this one, but we didn't note that everything is in all caps except the word beside. This is something I just noticed looking back at it, but beside is off. To be fair, to my credit, it's all kind of in a weird font, and so beside being weirder than the weird font took me a second to figure out, but beside and bridge are a thing. So my thought is we're getting somewhere with this. It makes me want to look at the other, like, especially the black notes. I looked at the one in the drafting room and it was normal. I want to look at all the black notes and see if any more of those are like hint, hint, wink, wink kind of situations. The locker room would be useful, but it only goes straight, and I want to try. Actually, I can't get in the pump room. Never mind. I just want to go ahead and do it. Dark room, this actually does not help me whatsoever. It won't keep the power on. Like that. Boom. Gone. Which sucks. But it is what it is, and I can tell what's a power room. Problem is, I think furnace requires one, but the gym does not. Neither does the workshop, but the gym is something I want to avoid because I want to keep my steps. I'm going to go far right, and it was the locker room. Fascinating development. I'm actually very happy about that. We have spread keys around the building. However, none of them are in here like they usually are. Archives I really don't mind, but it's just not ideal. Showroom, I don't really care one way or the other. I don't know if I want to use my stuff though. What was the point of this run? Let me get some focus. Focus was to get items, honestly, and show off stuff that I know. I don't think we got a chance to look in here in the magnifying glass. Let me go ahead and just do that. Let me go ahead and get a magnifying glass because this is kind of a big. I don't want to pour yourself into that one. So the steps are not all important on this run. We will just go back and what's the fastest way to get to commissary? This way, okay. We'll just do it. We'll do it so that we have it done. That's red keys around. Boom. That's really priority is we can knock out a lot of this kind of stuff and we don't have to go back and look at every single room later. So we did have a few rooms done last time. This time we are at the very least getting archives, and hopefully if we can get actual like power to the dark room, if we can turn the light back on, then that will be valuable. Okay. Oops. 1985, August 22nd, so this is much later than a lot of these letters were. Marigold wins Herald Literary Honor. Popular children's writer Mary Marigold adds yet another feather to her scholastic cap when she discovered on Thursday that her picture book Swimbird, which is a solid banger book, had been chosen as the Herald Literary Medal Illustrated Book of the Year. This is Marigold's second time winning this prestigious honor. The previous medal was, of course, for her debut effort, which isn't listed here, but I believe her debut effort was The Red Prince book that we read. That she had to change the ending to. No stranger to the public eye. Even before her literary success, the niece and closest living relative of Baron H.S. Sinclair, Mary began using Marigold as a pen name to free her from the political associations that one might make with the Sinclair family. And currently she is in the office, it looks like, typing stuff up. The office. Kind of looks like the office, but at the same time it kind of doesn't. Like just some strange room I may or may not have even noticed. Is this the library, actually? Maybe the library. January 27, 86. Swinburne author never considered herself a success by Gail Hermes, Herald staff writer. She confided, my son was the one that actually got me to start writing. I had always challenged myself to never tell him the same story twice at bedtime, and so we ran out of books we owned. As we ran out of books we owned, my imagination had to take over from there. Marigold had elaborated in previous interviews that her debut book, Yeah, Red Prince, is based on her son, an inflexible love of the color red, and his inflexible color of the color red. A statement that has been held with much skepticism by the many pundits that viewed the book as a rather thinly veiled political critique of the Loyalist Party and their unwavering blind loyalty to the throne. This is some kind of garden. Yeah, so she was a critic of the Loyalist Party, what we're saying. Because people thought the ending was too political, and so she had to change it in the first place. So it could be a political statement about the country that we live in. They have, again, they're kind of, I guess, monarchical. Not sure if that's exclusively correct, but royalty to the throne does suggest such a system. November 11th, 86, publisher and author detained by Red Guard questioned. Caleb Manning and his publisher Philip White were 2 of the 3 dozen names that appeared on a leaked dossier, naming them a person of interest in the Trinsdale bombing that killed 4 people last Tuesday. Although no group has come forth to officially take response to the attack, it is widely believed by authorities to be the work of the insurgent group RLCF, who also called themselves the Children of Blackwater, coming to page 12. Ruffington Press was quick to dismiss the rumors in a statement released on Friday, maintaining that the popular author and Mr. White were simply victims of an unfortunate happenstance, whatever that means. Considering that they were just persons of interest, they were just, wrong place, wrong time, perhaps. This would not be the first time that the publishing house has defended a rogue employee. 3 years ago, an associate editor with the company was arrested for criminal conspiracy, though the charges were later dropped. Fascinating. November 17th, Reddington Herald, Marigold drops publisher. Local author and popular personality Marion Marigold has announced a split with her long-term publishing partner Ruffington Press, citing personal reasons. The announcement came after the arrest last week of fellow author and colleague Caleb Manning, whom Marigold has past referred to as her mentor, friend, and confidant. Marigold is the 3rd prominent writer to distance themselves from the publisher this week. Well, bad press is bad press. It's going to happen that way. Manning and White at press function. So these are Manning and White, though who is who, I can't be sure. Very unassuming, nothing special. There's a staircase, there's a arch, glasses man, and bald guy. Blank was seen at the corner, suspicions bag under the wave down a local net. This is the 3rd major last year. It is anticipated that charged by the Crown, Manning was the last, but the trial begins on Tuesday, expected to last up to with grand treason. So I wonder if we can gradually fill this in. That would be nice if we actually filled in more details. February 22nd, 87. No trace is discovered of Cinca heiress, but search continues. Mary Matthew Jones, so mom's name was Jones. Because Marigold, I don't want to bother with this. Anyway, if you go into room 46, which you've already unlocked and set to go back there, there are 4 statues One is technically missing, but there's four like coat of arms. One is for Epson. One is for Marigold, which ironically is her pen name, which is also maybe a maiden name. But it has no statue on it, which is interesting. There is also Jones, which has our statue on it, and then there is what I think is our statue, and then there is the Sinclair statue. So it's interesting that her name is Jones, even though there is a Marigold coat of arms and place for a statue. Anyway, Mary Matthew Jones, the author and illustrator whose fanciful stories are written under the pen name Marion Marigold, was last seen by a close friend around 5:45 p.m. Friday getting into a carriage after a late luncheon date at the Hundred Bells Tea Room in Trinsdale. Jones never arrived home and the carriage driver cannot be located. Maybe local authorities are very concerned, but have not deemed the case foul play. It's an out-of-character incident at this point. We are seeking information. So she just went missing. September 2nd, Reddington Herald. Priceless jewels stolen in dramatic Royal Museum heist. These royal capital of Finn Aries have broken into one of the Crown's fabled closed exhibits. These lavish rooms have historically been reserved exclusively for the use of the aristocracy and high peerage, and access has never been granted to those outside level circles, at least not until today, as local police and forensic experts have been spotted in virtually every corner of the museum grounds dredging for clues. I'm trying to think. I know about the closed exhibit stuff, but the royal capital is Finn Aries, or the royal capital of the country Finn Aries. I don't know how to interpret that. I don't know if Finn Aries is a city or a country at this point. Anyway, the museum authorities said they were alerted in the middle of the night by reports of several masked intruders seen breaching the south wall and brandishing firearms. The intruders broke into the museum, subdued the royal guard, and disabled the security system. By the time the militia arrived on the scene, the burglars had simply vanished. Although an official registry of the lost jewels has not been publicly announced, among the treasured artifacts rumored to be stolen is the renowned ruby crown of Orinda Aries, a priceless crown jewel whose material worth pales in comparison to its historic value. If the rumors are true, the evidence may suggest that the theft was politically motivated. Go and look at the picture now. Lots of people. That's certainly a building. And that's the end of our book. Okay. Anywhere is fine, I guess. Weight room's a terrible idea. Kitchen, I can't afford anything, so we'll do whatever this is. Not the worst, but not really happy about it. What do I have to gain by getting that, I wonder? Furnace is definitely worthless. Gift shop is not a bad option, honestly. Costs me nothing, takes me everywhere. Sure, IPs. Laboratory is a fascinating idea. I wanted items, but I also wanted stuff. Oh, so much money suddenly. Look at all the money. Buy a shovel. Can I get power? No, I can't get power through the Hummer. This is the one thing I have not unlocked. If I can get power around, I can't get power around to it either. What a bummer. That's okay, I can worry about that later. I mean, immediately is this point is what we want. And 3 gold for each red room. I don't know that I really care, but sure. The rest of it's not valuable. I think this run's kind of going to crap, to be honest. Nothing special on that one. This one has stuff. And cooling curves. Oh, that's nice. Basically, this is just showing it's a graph of degrees and phase changes. You got the melting point, you have ice below, you've got a medium stage, and you've got a complete thaw and room temperature up there. S205 at atmospheric pressure, 93 kilopascals, in the Mount Holly freezer, lab technician, Randolph M. When it says complete thaw, center is unaffected, I think it says. Something is unaffected, it has a C and it ends in TER, but it might be Cantor for all I can tell, but I think it's center. I think center is unaffected. Basically what we want is a freezer and a furnace like right next to each other. The furnace will help get rid of the freezer. It'll thaw the freezer out, is what I believe that. There's this, I don't think it means much, but I typically work over at the Cinca Labs, but got sent over here for a month to assist Moore. Do I know who Moore is? I'll figure that out. Maybe Randolph, or whoever we just saw at the lab thing. The new turbine tests. I think I need some help. For the past 3 days, I've been unable to find the laboratory on the estate. Today was the first success on my front. Can you tell me if this is typical, and if so, how do you get any work done? Before I arrived, I was briefed on the way the doors work. I must admit, I did not expect to be excluded from my new workstation for the first week. Any tips from my fellow technicians would be appreciated. Kim Thompson. Sorry, Kim, I don't know the way to guarantee it either, and I own the place now. So I've got 22 coding. I'm going to buy some stuff at the gift shop, because that's really... Lunchbox is useful. Okay, well, we need a couple more dollars then. A couple more coin. The lunchbox gets us more steps when we get to the dining room if we're past a certain point. And I didn't do the dining room at the beginning, okay. Drafting studio is massive because we can add a new floor plan to our floor plans. And we have a safe in here. And we have the magnifying glass, which is what we need for the safe, okay. In Drafting Studio, you'll be able to choose a brand new floor plan to permanently add to your pool. Permanent changes do not reset, obviously. The kennel is huge. The dovecote. Whenever you draw a dovecote while drafting, you may rotate floor plans. Oh, that's huge. Oh, you'll start with one key for every tomorrow room you draft today. AKA rooms that affect tomorrow. Each time you dig in a room, unlock all doors. Like, all of these are huge. Right? All of these are very big. What do I want first? That will help me avoid keys, as long as I have digging power. So let me rotate things, and I know that this goes to a puzzle later. Oh, I think Dovecoat will help me maneuver the rooms, in which case I can guarantee myself a little bit easier that I can fill up a map the way I want to. So that might just be huge. Ein and spine, it's this. This tells us the Great Hall partitioning plan for Tuesday, November 10th. Okay, other things we won't talk about in this room. This is the calendar. It doesn't say what year it is, so I don't know what year today's date is. I don't usually need it, but I think I needed it for something. I'll have to go back and watch my own recordings. But Saturday, November the 7th is day 1. It literally says that. Right up here. So that's how we know what day 1 is for the shelter. I know I didn't do that sequentially, and I'm sorry for that, but also there are things I don't know about this game, and so I'm kind of playing catch up with my other run through. This seems largely symbolic. Let's see. We have 3 white gates, which lead to an orchard. 2 staircases and a bridge, which lead to 3 more gates, and then the big tree. We have 2 gates on the side, so let's think symbolically. We have the west garden, we have the apple orchard, which leads to, up here would be theoretically the east garden, and this could be the garage area. which case there's a further path to go, which is blocked by the doors. And maybe this is the building, which takes us to room 46, and maybe there's an exit to room 46. That's what I'm getting out of this. That's my theory, honestly. But it may be stupid and wrong, but that's what I'm going with. Largely because I believed I could anyway. Kind of running low on stuff, but YOLO. I don't know if I want to go through there yet. Let me go back to the gift shop. Ooh, door. Okay, let me see if I can get utility closet from the gift shop. Certainly ain't these. We have to get office. We can get a lot of coins in here. We can buy more stuff. I still have 2 gems that I could use for office. That'd also give us another letter. This requires 2, and I kind of do want to get office right now, so let me try for it. No, I didn't. I got pantry, which gives us money, and I'm pretty confident I'm not going to get the. But yeah, here we go. So, in case we didn't before, bridge. It's weird. Gosh, keys. Oh, off. Oh, I do have it. Yes, I have money for office. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. Get ourselves a 5th envelope. And then get ourselves a 6th envelope because I forgot to do that. What am I thinking? I'm thinking use my money. How long? 2 steps, I can take that. I can live with that. Give me a t-shirt. It just looks nice. Because those populate the area. I need to look at this as well. Those populate the area, and that's it. Spreading items. Some special rooms allow you to spread items throughout your house. When items are spread, they are immediately placed in several rooms currently on your estate. However, if you have a conference room, spread things are gathered in that room instead. So, for instance, Secret Garden spreads fruit, it will all be in here. Office can spread money, it'll all be in here. And I'm going to do that right now. Also, there are no weird words on that one. I do have currently. Oh yeah, they got the thing. That's cool. Our keys. Upgrade disk. We'll go in here. We don't have a payroll room, but we can spread gold. Exit. Upgrade. An upgraded mailroom? That's fascinating. Hold on, what is this? Same day delivery would be insane. No contact delivery would be dropped off in the entrance steps the day after. Which honestly would also be insane. A very large package would be delivered here 3 days after driving this room. I have to wait longer, but I get a whole ton of stuff. All of these are good. Getting a ton of stuff would be good. Getting the entrance hall and not having to do anything would be good. Not having to draft this room and not having to use the dead room. That. But also just, well, after you reach rank 8, no, that's terrible then. Because there are plenty of ways I don't reach rank 8. Yeah, I think this. It says on the entrance steps. I'm hoping that doesn't mean I have to go outside to do it, because that takes steps to do that. Honestly, I'll do this one, just because I don't want to wait 3 days. Freight shipping is big, but not having to draft this room is arguably bigger. Because I have other ways to get items, right? I have the attic, I have the walk-in closet, I have other ways to get items. Also, there's a picture in the dark room. I've never gotten a thing. Let's go back and get the utility closet if I can. Anyway, it has an older lady sitting here writing something, but the drawer is open in the drawing. So look at this. Bridget, which isn't particularly weird this time. Please check if any books matching these titles are available for purchase in Reddington. Flight of the Queen, March of the Count, Fall of the Lord, Passing of the Barons, Hearings of the Major. Does that mean that Major is a red herring? Because it's really herrings in red. I don't know. Also, had a little trouble reading the Baron's writing, so I'm not sure if the last title yet is intended to be hearings or herrings, but knowing Herbert, I suspect either would be suitable. Let's say who wrote this. Hearings of the Major. We know Major Nicholas Key IV. I don't know how that ties in exactly, but I know what March of the Count is, so we'll go ahead and do that. Also flip our switch, and that goes up. So if you get the foyer, you know that that man is the Count. So March being a month, 8 dates crack 8 safes. We have a safe, so we need a date. March of the Count. So how many counts do we need to count the count? There's 1 count. 2 counts. 3 counts. And these are all different people. We're not going to count him because he's big and he's literally on the safe. We're looking just for small ones, and that's kind of it. This is Jarianus. This is Herbert Sinclair, I think. Either Herbert or Thomas Sinclair. That's the Count. What's his name? I think that's Thomas Sinclair. And that is, what's his face? Epson. Lord Epson. That would be March of the Count. Count the Count, March 3rd. Okie dokie. So another gem, another letter. This one is 8. And it's sideways for reasons that we will see later. Mr. Sinclair, thank you for promptly answering all of our demands not involving the police and allowing this unfortunate transaction to transpire as smoothly as one could hope. March the 2nd, March the 3rd. And while I'm guessing you had hoped to never hear from us again once we'd given you back the envelopes, we felt that one final red letter of our own was merited given the circumstances. Hopefully you will not be careless with this missive as you were with the others. Correspondence this incriminating should be kept in safes, not desk drawers. So basically it was originally in desk drawers and it got found. And that's what that mechanical room note was about, is that, hey, we have your letters. Okay, let's first put your apprehensions aside, as I'm sure another red envelope is the last thing you expected to find on your desk this week. No, we're not making more demands, and no, we do not have copies of the other letters. You are already more than generous and accommodating, and the least we can do is fulfill our end of the bargain, so why write to you at all? Why incriminate ourselves further if we already have what we want? In a word, principles. After reading your eloquent reply to our initial note, it became apparent to us that there had been a few misunderstandings. This letter is intended to clarify some of those points, and hopefully will place our schemes in softer light. First, we may have gotten too excited with the colorful language of blackmail, but our goal was never to terrorize. Despite what you may believe, you interpreted as thinly veiled threats to your young nephew, aka Mary. I want to personally assure you that there was never any tangible danger. If we gave any impression we would hurt the youngster, it's meant only in the very vague sense of hurting his social prospects. And yes, while we admit that our word choices may be questionable, enough so that it would be reasonable to accuse us of being intentionally misleading, we hope you will believe us when we tell you that this was not a calculated ploy to elicit payment. Since it said his, it must be me, the grandnephew, not just the nephew. However, as payment has been received, there's nothing to be gained by scrutinizing questionable ethics that were employed in our extortion of those funds, and defense can be mustered on that score. So, AC. Additional, any judgmental tone you may have detected when we discussed the content of your stolen letters was entirely unintended. We want it on the record that we do not consider ourselves superior to you and your family in any way, and are in fact entirely sympathetic to the underlying cause that the letters pertain to. And you thought this letter couldn't get more incriminating for us. We're sympathizers to whatever it is you're going through. Again, we feel guilty as sin, and only time will tell if the financial recompense will outweigh our culpability. Even though you will never hear from us again, we hope that this parting letter will result in you thinking of us and our dealings, if not favorably, at least sympathetically. Sorry. Convenience Forever Anonymous X. I think they did find out who it was, but whatever. Because the mailroom note said, did they ever find out who stole such and such? Whoever stole the Baron's letters? I do want to go through the italicized stuff. Red letter. this. As you thought the center could be more incremented for us. That doesn't help at all. Okay, I'll keep it in mind. But for now, the italicized stuff doesn't mean anything. Likewise, we're kind of dead here. We can go north from dark room, but we're blind. We can also go west from hallway, and hopefully make us not blind from dark room. Let's skedaddle back that direction and get our coins from the conference room that we scattered and were collected here. Money, money, money. Can we get 40? We would be nice because we could buy stuff from the conference room in the alcoholic thing. Nope, we got 20. 20 money. In discounts? Not that big. We're gonna probably use up the last of our steps trying to get back anywhere, but whatever. Right up the dark room. Honestly, I don't have steps to go down and back up, so we'll just test our luck. That seems like a bad idea. That bug room. Couldn't get worse than this, I guess. I mean, tick, 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 tick. 2 keys on the ground. That's a winner. Did I upgrade the bug room? Nope, sure didn't, so I don't know what's going on with that, but I don't mind. If only I could have a magnifying glass on the day I got this thing turned on. I've got 25 steps though, so theoretically I could now go back if I'm very careful of how I do it. And we have 5 envelopes, so that's always a plus. I actually don't remember where the 6th one was, because I've gotten one that I didn't originally have, and I had 6. So I've got like 2 more. I have, oh yes, we go. Gosh darn it, it's in the drafting studio. That's going to be a lot of steps to get back there. I'm pretty close to the hallway. I think I can afford both step-wise. I have to go through the commissary and buy stuff here that helps me. Not really. I can buy a shovel. Maybe I'll find places to dig on the way and I can get turnip. But that's a lot of maybes. From whence are you beeping? Not from then, from hence, from thence. You are beeping from this door. Sure are, okay. Okay, up for hallway, up and left. Sure didn't get it, okay. Well, this, whatever this is, yes. Oh, got steps, that's not a bad thing. We're gonna look through that book with magnifying glass. I'm not gonna redo it. That we'll start going through and double checking what rooms I've already scanned, because that's relevant to life. Can't look at the dark room, but we do need to go to the drafting studio. Oh, it's probably the study that I haven't done. The drafting studio and the study are the 2 envelopes I need to do to actually be caught up on my envelopes that I know about. Since I'm getting this one first, it's going to be kind of spoilers, so I apologize for that, but there is a relevant purpose to how this one works. And you'll just have to take my word for it until we see it. Through the lab and into the studio, and just go. Okay, so when we go here, we already saw that this is the Great Hall for tomorrow. Because today is day 4, which means day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Oh, that's for today, sorry. So yeah, this is the partition for today. And we have this book, Drafting Strategy, Volume 1. So let me see if I can move this out of the way. I'm not really, I'm gonna go for the highlights. Basically, there's different colors of rooms. Violet stuff helps with steps. Let me just go ahead and magnifying over the pictures though. We already have, this is literally our directory. Sorry about that. Anything special? I mean, this is just the bedroom. I thought I see, okay. Yeah, so synergies and stuff that works together. So like nursery, you get 5 steps anytime you do a bedroom. So you want to get a nursery or you want to get a sleeping mask, because those give you steps every time you draft a step room, the bedroom. And then servants' quarters will give you keys based on how many bedrooms you've already drafted. Green rooms are largely about gardening and gyms. Again, it's got average number of doors. It's got all this stuff in the top right-hand corner. Most green rooms have synergies with like terrace, because terrace means that you don't have to use gyms to draft them. Watering can will give you gyms, and shovel will usually, like, you can get dig spots from them, so that's useful. Foyer is huge for hallways because it always unlocks all of them. So if you have the great hallway, all unlocked. Lockpick kit is also very useful. Commissary is good for items. What's shown, I think, is actually the book room, or the bookstore. There's a bookstore, by the way. In case you didn't know, there is a bookstore. Gold coins. If you have a coin purse, it helps you get money faster. If you have a coupon book, it helps things be cheaper. And if you have to vault, it gives you 40 coins. So that's useful. Red rooms always have a cost. The problem is that the lavatory doesn't show a cost. I think it's just an empty room. But it's like really weird, the fact that it's just empty. But dark room, you can't see what you're drafting. Archives, you can't see one of the things you're drafting permanently, like from any room. Laboratory's a dead end. Weight room takes away half your steps. Furnace is a dead end room, and it makes it more likely you'll find red rooms when you draft. What else is there? Chapel takes away money, that kind of stuff. So they're always kind of a penalty room. Got multicolored rooms, so like Maid's Chamber counts both as a bedroom and as a red room. We're talking about like effects. So if you have like the sleeping mask, you gain 5 steps in the Maid's Chamber, but also it has the penalty that you're less likely to find items laying around the house. Aquarium is every kind of room, so it counts for everything. It's unlocked by a foyer. It's you get steps for it being a bedroom. You have a dig spot because it's a green room. It has little everything. Word from the editor, which is be smart with your colors. So anyway, that's kind of this bench. This is just your pictures. This is what tells you what you can add to your draft table. This is, notice it's on the month November. It tells us what day 1 is, but that's not its only goal. And the picture is possibly symbolic of the property. But notice that this is November, right? This is a picture of not the drafting studio, but the study. So I kind of grouped them in 3, right? You've got the drawing room, you've got the drafting studio, and you have the study. All of them have a safe. In the study, on this little desk here, it has a chessboard, and there's a queen on D8. D8 to 8 date, right? So 8 dates, crack 8 safes. It's like date. Okay, cool. But also D8. You have the only month that starts with D is December. So December 8th opens this room's chest. Not this room, but it opens the study's chest. Here, in the drafting studio, it has the study, and it has a chest. It has a paper model of the chest from which you can see that you can manipulate it. But what's the date? Is it December the 8th? No, it's not. Here it has a calendar of November. So what about November the 8th? And that's it. That's going to be the logic behind this. What this does get you is a red envelope. What this does not get you is a ruby. Also, tiny 5. But I don't think anything's hidden in this one. It's just tiny because it's a thing. I read that. Is there anything to read? No, it's literally just a card. Okay, I can't read anything. So from nobody to nobody, but that gives us 6 red ones. Um, Let me think what I've got. I've gotten. I don't think I know what I'm missing. I've gotten shelter. I've gotten drafting studio. Oh, I don't have the study itself. That's what it is. I don't have the study itself. I say I know I've got one more that I've done before. It's the study. Let's go through here. Um, I want to see basically. I've already looked at that. Nothing here for me apparently. I've already looked at all of this. There's nothing to this that I know of. We'll go ahead and sign on here. I missed 3 keys. Okay, it's got spread around. That's not surprising then. Yeah. Go ahead and log in. And I want to see if the glossary is full. That page is full. That's full. That's missing 2 still, and that's full. So I'm going to hold off on that until we finish it. I have the office. I can go through and look at the office's stuff, and then go through the laboratory as well. That way, all we have left is security. We can just go through all of this stuff. We have the experiment set up that we did, and we can do different things every day. Research logs, we haven't done anything before today, so there's no logs. We can pause the experiment, but we can log on. Similar stuff, we can't do anything in the mail. Staff services, punch in and out has been disabled. Staff announcements, again, Saturday, November the 7th is day 1. So, that's all that is. Everyone's rooting for me, but we did it. Congratulations. Huzzah. Schedule change is also disabled. Special orders for the commissary. Let's just do magnifying glass because it's going to be helpful to have that, and it's pretty cheap. That's all the staff services had. Remote terminal access, I don't think we can do. Oh, we can because we've got it online. So, office. We already did all of that, but we will terminal through the office. In theory, that's how this works. Oh, hang on happens. And then electronic mail. I have to actually be in the office. That's unfortunate. Data transfers are not currently available. Glossary we already talked about. And so that will be it for here. Let's go to. We already saw all of this, but just to be sure, nothing special, nothing new. We want to get power here eventually. Not enough money to buy anything. I don't think I need 40. Yeah, I need 40 from it. Office is straight up. Okay, that's not far, so that's good. All right, let's hop on the office. So basically, running payroll, if you have servants' quarters or maid quarters, that will do that. But we don't have either in this run, so we're not going to do it. Already spread gold, so we will log on. Okay, the one thing we couldn't do that we want to do is the emails. So, start at the bottom. October 5th, 1993, fuse box repair. The VAC indicator lights installed per instructions have been turned on. However, it should be noted that the white indicator is only displayed after syncing all 6 indicators to purple, which is why we have to start by making everything purple. If this is not the desired functionality, let us know and we will fix it in our regular service visit next week. Gabe, DC Power Inc. After that, October 7th, 1993, Dear Herbert, we just wanted to let you know the changes you requested in your will to your will have been implemented and notarized. If your premonition, God forbid, should bear fruit, rest assured that your plans will be executed down to the last detail. McGuire, McKinley, and McDougall. So, got the lawyers and had a slight change to his, or some changes to his will. I'm curious what that actually is, but whatever. Back to the power company. October 8th, 1993. Gabe, yes, that is the correct functionality. Also, when you're out here next week, please test the correct sequence is off, blue, green, white, red, purple. Thanks for the due diligence on this project, H.S. Sinclair, aka Great and Dub. So that's how we knew what the correct code was. And then Ann Babbage. Sir, you have not left me any instructions for the following week, and you know how much I hate critical plans up until the last minute. I hate leaving critical plans up to the last minute. As soon as you decide on definite plans for the holidays, please pass a message on to me, either through Hartley, who is valeting for you this weekend, or if you absolutely insist, through this confounded electronic typewriter Ann Babbage, who is the senior house coordinator. She's like the head of staff. That's November 1st, 93. Considering day 1 was November 7th. And his premonition was probably that he would die soon. Pop, pop. So it might be 1993. Or it may not be. I'm not wholly sure on that yet. That is the entirety of the mailbox. And that's kind of what that's about. With that said, I think we can end today. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, so not enough steps to like go outside and or anything. So I think that's it for today. So we got a lot of red envelopes I'm happy about. We got one more I know about. Maybe 2. We'll see if we can't get those tomorrow. We also want to get back into room 46 at some point just to take a look around. That'll do it. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!